So lately I have been going through some old guitar books and bass books that I have, and just kind of like coming up with exercises inspired by the work in those books for the stick. And so I wanted to share a couple of these dexterity exercises that I've come up with out of, based off of and inspired by Terry Syrek's Shred Is Not Dead book, which is an excellent guitar book by an excellent guitarist that I had the pleasure of working with at the National Guitar Workshop back in the early 2010s. He really gets into the nitty-gritty of the technical aspects about shredding. And while this might not directly apply to the stick, because a lot of it is like picking technique and string skipping with your picking and stuff like that, there are still aspects of legato technique and aspects of speed that directly apply, and the exercises in this book have really inspired some interesting stuff for me as a stick player to come up with that I want to share with you today. So the first thing we're going to need is a metronome. I went to metronomeonline.com because I use my phone to help me record my videos, but normally my metronome is on my phone. And this is going to be really important because all of this stuff that I'm presenting today is about understanding where you are over the beat and being able to increase the speed of that beat and still be smooth in your exercises. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the very first exercise that I'm going to share is a pattern that I got that really helps me with double tapping frets and also including movement in that double tapping skill. And what we're going to do is it's always going to be the inside fingers leading to the outside fingers. And I do this because the outside fingers can get the most motion and still be accurate, right? And so what we're going to do is we're going to alternate minor sixths to perfect fifths, and then up a fret, major sixths to perfect fifths. And then up a fret, the root note moves up, but the top note does not. We're going minor sixths to perfect fifths, and we're following that pattern. All the way up one octave. And what we're going to do is we're going to tap 2 notes on the lower note and then 2 notes on the upper note. And we're going to go middle, pointer, ring, little. And then back down to the lower note. And then we're going to go to the perfect fifth. But it's the same finger pattern. Middle, pointer, middle, ring, little. Middle, pointer, ring, little. And once we get through that twice, we're going to move up. Like that. Now obviously as you get to the higher frets, it's going to be harder and harder. One thing to look out for, especially in the higher frets, is that when you're transferring from your ring finger to your little finger, there's going to be, you almost want to swing with your hand. This is very much the Greg Howard moving with your hands technique here. There's definitely an aspect, a similar aspect of that moving from your middle finger to your pointer finger, but really, at least for me, the way my hands work, my pinky is absolutely the weakest of my fingers, and to do this double tap skill here, there, you can see I'm kind of throwing my hand, pivoting on my thumb and throwing my hand into it. that really helps me with the accuracy, especially up on these higher frets here. A little bit faster. The second exercise will see us playing in groups of 5, and we're going to take our diatonic rudiments, the A, B, and the C rudiments, and we're going to basically play them in one place on one 5-finger spread, one hand position, down the neck. And we're going to go down one group of 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then start on the next note down. But then instead of starting on the next note down after that, we're just going to go directly to the next string. So it's like skipping 1 every time. And what we want to do in order to get this smooth is we're going to tap each note as we go down, and we're going to use, for the A rudiment, we're going to use our our little finger, middle finger, pointer, little, middle, and then to start that next one, we're going to hit with our pointer and slide down to with our pointer to the next note. When we're doing it in reverse, we're going pointer, middle, little, pointer sliding up, and then landing on our middle finger, one note up from where we started, and completing it, and then completing the pattern that way, and then starting on the next string. To a metronome, remember, we're trying to get groups of 5 here. So, one way that I like to do groups of 5 is a little mnemonic device where I just say a 5-syllable word and evenly fit those 5 syllables into the beat. Nickelodeon, 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 right? It's a pretty easy one. And we want to do this across all of our rudiments. With the B rudiment, the fingering is going to be identical with the B rudiment, but it does change a little bit for the C rudiment. So with the C rudiment, we're going to be doing little finger, ring finger, pointer, and then pointer again and sliding it down like that. And then same with the reverse, sliding up on our pointer finger when we hit the next string. The final exercise is another rudiment-based exercise. So we're going to be doing the same fingering for each of those rudiments that we did in the previous one. You know, it's going to be, for the A rudiment, we're going to use our pinky, our middle, and our pointer finger, and for the B rudiment, same fingers, and for the C rudiment, we're going to switch our middle finger for our ring finger. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start on fret 14, and we're going to go down 3, then back up, and then up on the next string. And when we get to the highest note, we're going to slide up a note and start the whole pattern again. When we get to the top, we're going to do the whole thing in reverse. So we're going to start on the lowest note of the rudiment, go to the top, and then back down to the next string, slide down 1, and start the pattern again. to a metronome, we're doing this one in 16th notes, so that's 4 notes per beat, and to a metronome it's going to sound something like this. A little faster. B rudiment. A little faster. And the C rudiment. And a little bit faster. So these are right hand dexterity exercises, and as I come up with more I'll probably do another one of these videos. This is fun for me to go through these books and be inspired and come up with these exercises and these methods and then present them to you. Doesn't mean you just have to do these with your right hand, you can do these with your left hand as well. And if you're doing this to a metronome for speed, like these exercises were intended to for guitar, what you want to do is you want to start really slow, somewhere around 60 or 80 beats a minute, maybe even slower than that if these are particularly difficult for you, and just work your way up. My personal rule is that I can't speed up until I've gotten it right perfectly 3 times in a row. And it has to be in a row because that's how I know it's not luck. I know other guys do more than that, and I know some people don't care that much, and that's okay. But then I'll go up by a very small increment. I believe the smallest increment that the human ear can tell the difference of is 5 beats per minute. So sometimes I'll do that, and then if a 5 BPM jump is too much, I'll work my way back down to where I still have it solid, and I'll go up one by one. So let's say I'm doing the first exercise, that double tapping exercise, and I'm able to get it up to 75 beats a minute, pretty solid. Then I jump up to 80. I jumped up to 80 BPM, and it starts to fall apart, right? So I will work my way back down to 75 or maybe even 70, and then I'll get it right 3 times in a row and go up to 71. Then I'll get it 3 times in a row and go up to 72, and so on and so forth. And the idea of that is that it's such a small increment, your hand doesn't actually notice that it's actually getting any faster. So you're tricking yourself, you're tricking your body into thinking that it's playing the same speed, when in reality you're slowly increasing your abilities. So I hope these help. These are just some dexterity exercises that I've been enjoying doing, and they're increasing my accuracy and my dexterity, and I'm going to come up with a bunch more. So take them, check out my Patreon for the exercises, or just go off these, and I hope you enjoy it. Cool, thanks a lot, keep exploring.